Hi, my name is Agata Nesteruk. I'm a Canva certified creative, and today I'm gonna show you how to create photo collages in Canva. Let's jump into Canva. In today's video, I'm going to show you 3 different photo collages. I'm going to show you 3 different ways you can create these photo collages, and I will give you some tips on how to work most effectively in Canva. The first photo collage is a mood board or an inspiration or color board. This way you can show the style of a new collection or new products. This type of mood board can be published as a post or graphic on social media. For this project I use grids. Grids can be found in Canva by going to the Elements tab. At the bottom we have grids. Click See All, and here we have different layouts. These are ready-to-use layouts. You only need to add your photos to these grids, and immediately your layout is ready. You don't have to set everything up by yourself, so this method is very quick. I will show you a few ways how it can be done. Here all the layouts are classic, so we have vertical and horizontal lines. And we also have elements like this, so they will be either squares or rectangles. There is also a color palette, which I have shown in the form of squares. Now I will show you how to use such a layout. First, you need to choose the right grid. Browse through the available proposition in Canva and choose the one you like best. I choose this layout and I have space to insert 6 photos. It may be that you don't want all the photo boxes to be filled with photos, as it is in my design. Here on the right side, I put the color palette, not the photo. If you would like to hide a picture on the grid, if you don't want to use it, all you have to do is select that picture, which means you click on it, go into colors, and here you have to select the color that you have your background in. I have a white background, so I choose the white color. If I choose a white color like my background, now this picture is gone. It's still here, of course, just filled in with white, and you can't see it because the color blends in with the background color. This way we can get that empty space feeling and put something in that fills this place. Here I added a color palette, and this palette I also created from such a grid. Instead of creating from single squares and arranging them, I used the same grid, which has a layout 2 and 2, so 4. So we have to look for such a grid here. And here is this grid. I click on it, it adds itself to my background at the beginning. Now, if I want to make it proportionally smaller, I have to press the Shift key on my keyboard, and by holding down the Shift key, I can make it proportionally smaller. Now, as you can see, there is a white square that I filled my photo with. This grid I need to place on top, so that it covers this square. I have the grid selected, I go to Position, and here I click Forward, and the grid is on top. Again, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. As you can see, these distances between these little squares I have to narrow. Here I have much wider. To adjust the distances, you select your grid and go to Spacing. Here you can set how big you want the distances between the photos on the grid to be. If I move it to the left, I have it set to 0, so I have no spacing at all. And if I move it to the right, the spacing will be larger. So I set more or less like that, and then I have to fill those squares with my colors. I have brown, blue, gray and dark brown, and I will try to fill it in the same way here. I choose brown, blue, gray and dark brown. And this way you can very easily create these color palettes, which won't take a lot of time because you are using a pre-made grid layout and you don't have to set up the squares by yourself. Next, if we already have that done, then we need to add photos. You have to prepare the photos that you want to add. Then you drag these photos and drop them here and adjust the position and size as you want. I can do more or less like it is in this picture, and now I can adjust. If you want to enlarge the photo, grab a corner and adjust it as well. This way you can build your layout as it suits you. Then you can add text, and you can also add some description and address. If it's going to be a mood board, then you can give your website address. This is how you create such a layout. Now I will show you some other layouts. These were simple layouts, squares and rectangles. Here I also use a color palette, and I also use grid-like squares. Only this time I choose a different grid. If you would like to create such squares from this layout, we need to download this grid. Then we need to make it smaller. If we want to have equal squares, we need to use a square. I go to the elements, select a square, shrink this square proportionally as well, holding down the Shift key, and then I can set the rulers so that this square is selected. I'm going to grab my grid, put it in front, and now zoom in so that it fits this square. I want to set bigger distances, so I'm going to do it more or less like this. And I'm going to have to stretch this grid a little bit, like I'm doing now. Maybe a little bit more, and that's how I set the squares even. Now, if I want to scale this grid the same way with the Shift key pressed, I can make it smaller or bigger and set this kind of palette where I want it. In addition to creating a design from simple shapes from simple layout, you can use mixed shapes. Here I use a grid as before, but in addition I added a color palette, but I showed the colors not in squares, but in circles. This I had to do manually. When I ungroup it, you can see that there are single objects that were simply selected and positioned. They were evenly spaced vertically so that the spacing was the same between them, and then I grouped them together. So we can combine different shapes, and we can combine shapes not only of the circles, but also of the quarter circles or the semicircles. This also looks very interesting because then we have a variety of shapes. This is how we can create these types of classic mood boards. I call them that way because they are based on classic layouts and with simple geometric shapes. If you created one square format, you can then easily convert it to other formats if you would like to post on social media. Here I made a horizontal version of the same design. If you do a horizontal version, then later you can do a vertical version, like an Instagram or Facebook store. If you make one project, it will be easier to convert it to other formats later. This was the first project, a photo collage created from a grid. Now I will move on to the second project. In my second project, I also used the pre-made photo frames from Canva, but this time not grids, but frames. And to find and use them, we need to go to Elements and here scroll all the way to the bottom. Only this time we don't select grids, but we select frames. Click See All, and here you will find many frames in different shapes. If you want to preview some of them, you can see that they have a description like simple film frame. Now, if I type film frame in the grid search and click enter, I will have film frames and photo frames only. These frames that I have chosen have a thin border. I tried to choose frames in the same style so that they all have a border of similar width and also have a shadow. This makes these frames look like real, realistic photos. Since there are so many different frames in Canva, it will probably take some time before you find the right frames. That's why, to make your work easier, you can prepare in advance a presentation which you can use for your different projects. I have already created photo frames, which is my presentation of the frames available in Canva. First, I have frames that have a white thin border and a shadow. Then I have frames that are empty in the middle. Then those that have a gray border, then those that are combined. And I have Polaroid frames at the end and have frames that have a shadow overlay. That way, if I'm creating a design, I no longer have to search here in the frames and scroll through all the suggestions before I find what I'm interested in. I just select the frame I want to use, right-click, copy, go to my design, right-click and paste. This is how I create my composition. Here I have already created a composition from different frames. My tip is, try to create a balanced, compact composition, so not too far apart from each other. It's not likely to look good. Just try to arrange these photos closer together so the composition is as compact as possible. My second piece of advice when it comes to a photo collage created from frames, when these frames will be arranged and rotated in different ways, is that it's very important to work on layers. You have to think about which picture will be on top, which will be underneath, and how to arrange them nicely. And this is important because if you want the composition to look interesting, you can't have, for example, one photo at the very bottom because it doesn't look good. I arrange it in such a way that the photos are alternating. Here, for example, this photo, because it is small, is on the very top, but this photo of ladies with glasses is on the left side of this photo, is above it, and under this photo on the right side. Same here. This photo with the shoes is under this photo with the earrings, but above the photo with the hairstyle. So try to think about composition so that these photos are arranged alternately and so that it would be interesting. Another tip is not to use too many graphic elements. I limited myself to only 3 graphic elements and 6 photos. And those elements that I choose are my own elements. Just like with the photo frames I have shown you before, I have also prepared a presentation. When it comes to elements, it's the same way, because before I would find those elements in Canva, even though I go into my elements in the Canva library, it still takes a while before I find the pink elements that I want to use. I have to scroll through everything for quite a long time. So I selected those pink elements earlier and created a presentation out of them like this. If I want to use this element rainbow, or for example this element line, it's the same. I copy the selected element, go back to my project and paste it here, and the element is placed. Thanks to this, I can use these elements easily and quickly. If I want to make a magic background like this in this photo collage, I have my background here, it's a photo. I right-click and here I select Replace Background, and this photo is automatically placed as background. Now I can double-click it and adjust the position. It's quite strong, so I'm sure with these delicate images it would not look good. So I click again, select it and lower the transparency and set it to, let's say, 40. Now I have a soft pale pink background that my photos should look good on. If I have the background ready, I then place my photos and arrange them in that composition. Since I already have it ready, I copy the whole composition and paste it here. Then I need to add my photos into the frames so it looks good, and to make it blend together as it does now. After I added the photos, I add the elements. I have 2 elements. Now I'm looking where to put them. For example, this element will fit here, and here underneath I can add this line element. I go to position and put a line to the back. I can make it bigger, arrange it differently, so that there is a color accent here. My next photo collage is ready. When it comes to photos, I have one piece of advice. Look for photos from one photographer and look for a collection of photos so that the photos are consistent, have similar colors and light. This was the second project. We created a photo collage using frames from Canva. Now I will move on to the third project. In the third project, we will also create a photo collage, but this time it will be in a different way. We will use paper cards. Here on the first page, I only have a single photo because this is the title page. On the next pages are already different photo collages, and they are arranged very differently. 2 or 3 photos on each page, and sometimes there are even more. Here the borders are wider than in previous projects. Why? Because these are not photo frames. I used paper cards. These types of elements are very easy to find in Canva. These are pieces of paper that can have different formats and can also have a shadow. I use my own elements, which I have also put into a presentation. These are different pieces of paper, tapes, vertical and square cards. I use my kit, but of course you can find many elements in Canva. Mine are also in Canva's library. You can find them under my brand Anne's Design. In addition to the paper cards, I also add pieces of tape. I try to vary the paper cards. I have a square one, a vertical one, a horizontal one, and I have torn paper. This is also an interesting option. If you combine torn paper with a regular paper card, your project will look more interesting. If you want to use such an effect as if these cards were pinned to the wall, then it's a good idea to use pieces of tape, and you can rotate them a little bit. This way, paper cards will look like attached to the wall. If you would like to change the color of your tapes, go to Edit Image and look for the Color Mix filter. Select this filter, and here we have different shades. They are pretty intense at the moment. I will go to this pink, for example. I click again, and here I can adjust hue and saturation, so I can strengthen or weaken this effect. I can change the color. This is the easiest way to do it if you need a different setting. If you are happy, click Apply, and if you are not happy, click Cancel. So first I prepare the elements and then I arrange my composition. This can be done very differently. You can have a very large number of these paper cards, but you can also use a smaller number, only 3 or 2 of them. And of course, when I add paper cards, I put my photos on these elements. Like here, I have a paper card with photo on it. I try to make sure the photo is aligned centered with the paper card. I also add pieces of tape so that these photos look pinned to the wall. One more tip to make the project look more interesting: if you have longer pieces of tape, then you can add text on them as well, like here. The next tip when it comes to this project is to choose graphic elements. I limited myself to 4 elements. These are floral organic elements. My tip for using them effectively in this project is this: try to apply the principle of contrast, that is, using the same elements to differentiate their size. Elements are bigger and smaller, and the same element can be very big at one time, smaller at another, or completely tiny. Try also to change its position. You can achieve this by flipping. You can flip horizontal or vertical. And of course, you can also rotate freely. This way, even though only 4 elements are used, the design will look more interesting because there is a contrast between the elements. You can use this type of photo collage in different ways. You can create simple projects and add 2 or 3 photos on one page. You can also create more complex projects and add more photos with description to each photo. You can create portfolio, gallery of your work, products, collections, and there can be even more photos. They can be laid out like here, one by one, but they can also be arranged on layers as we did in the second project. You can apply layers here. You will then need to go to the position and adjust each paper card one by one. Another tip on how to use a photo collage like this: you can use it as Instagram story and add some stickers. Stickers are meant to help you create engaging posts and stories. Ask your community questions, create a quiz, ask for feedback. If they are going to be collages, for example, made up of 2 photos like here or here, it looks interesting because we have the principle of contrast applied. You can very easily adapt this design to other themes, to other collections. You only need to swap the graphic elements used, as here we have floral elements. If I want to create a winter collection now, I can use winter elements. If I would like to create a holiday collection, I can use holiday elements. So, you only need to change your graphic elements and the background color. You can also change the color of your tapes, as I showed you before. In this video tutorial, I showed you 3 different ways how to create 3 different photo collages in Canva. The first photo collage was created from grids available in Canva. I use simple layouts and simple geometric shapes. In the second project, I created a photo collage using frames in Canva. I used frames which look like photos with a small white border and added shadow. In the third photo collage, I used paper cards with shadow, and I put my photos on these paper cards and pinned them with pieces of tape. I hope you enjoyed my projects and choose something for yourself and create the photo collage that suits you best. I hope you guys like this tutorial. If you would like to use my Canva templates or graphic elements for free, you can find them directly in Canva. Just go to my Canva creator profile, Anna's Design, and choose templates or graphic elements which you like for free. So go to canva.com/p/Anna's Design. Thank you for watching. Bye!